Hey everybody, can you hear me okay? Just adjusting the microphones and whatnot. I thank you everybody for coming out this evening. I've gotten some really good feedback after doing a couple of these streams where people are like, hey, like, you know, these are kind of the conventions of these streams and you're not living up to kind of what people expect. So I'm going to do my best to do all of the things that people are supposed to do with the streams, which is, first of all, you're supposed to greet your audience. You're supposed to tell them how great it is to see them. So let's lock down and let's start doing that. So everybody, thank you for showing up this evening. I see that Geek with Social Skills is here. Uncle Mike's Retro, Sucra, even Secret Chicken came out this evening, so that's cool. OCR with the old computer rebuilds, cool channel, you should check that out. The Slot 1 challenge, which my machine, am I in the way? Yeah, it's my Slot 1 machine's back there. I'll get a video out the door one of these days. But Adam is here, MrFahrenheit, Tom Barber, good to see you, Tom. Retrotech Chris, freshly back from Vintage Computer Fest East. I'm sure there are some great stories with that. Mr. Macintosh is here, taking a break from all of the new Mac OS beta reporting to hang out in the channel tonight. It's really good to see everybody. I really appreciate everybody showing up. Eric Heggleston's here as well. Yeah, it's Justin Morgan. It's like the whole gang's here. So thank you everybody for coming out this evening. Oh, Adam, you went to VCF East as well. That looked like a good time. I need to catch up on everybody's videos. Enzo's here. Yeah, if you didn't know, they're a person. So anyway, I just wanted to take a moment and greet everybody, since I got some criticism on that previously. And we will get to the shameless self-promotion real fast, which, if you look at my beautiful list here on my link tree, you're all familiar with my YouTube channel. If you don't follow me on Twitter, please do. I just made a post earlier today. I picked up some really cool things from a teacher friend today, and it is just like a mess of MECC software. So I'll be going through that pretty shortly. Don't forget about my Patreon. It's only $1 to get your name at the end of any of my videos. I also have Cameo. That's also only $1. So if you want to completely embarrass your grandmother on her birthday by having somebody she's never heard of wish her happy birthday, I'm happy to do so. That, and also my friend Jamie. She has a Threadless store, and she's been very kind to let me put my shirt up on there. I don't know that any have sold or anything like that, but I just thought it was just something else fun to do. And most of the time, those things mostly just kind of serve as a media impression. So just to kind of get your name or your brand or whatever out there. So anyway, all right. I have spoke for the prerequisite 7 minutes. 7 minutes of just faff. So how about we go ahead and get to the contest? And and again, I want to thank everybody who is new to the channel, people that have supported me from the very beginning. I cannot thank Geek with Social Skills enough, because there's been a couple times where he has gone in to some of his meetings and groups with like other content creators, and he's done so much to promote me, and it's greatly appreciated. Super nice guy. If you don't follow his content, get yourself a retro towel, lay it down, put your project on top of that, and then just enjoy the content he's making. So I bought a retro towel recently to try to catch up and with the Joneses basically, and then I lost it. It's somewhere here in the basement. I'll probably find it eventually. So anyway, yes, thank you again, Sean. I really do appreciate it. All right, so let's make sure that we are doing this all above board, y'all. So we're going to use the content picker. This is the video. This is where all of our entries came in at. But let's also make sure something that happened recently. Oh, let me make sure. I'm going to go out and I want to make sure that all the comments, this thankfully did not happen in the previous contest, but I was kind of seeing that there were some, see, Ramblin' Dan. Got to approve some of these comments because I guess using that hashtag kind of like wigged out the YouTube system. So just want to make sure that everybody that could make an entry is actually going to get their entry in or have their entry counted. So I just had held for review content or comments just on this latest contest. The other ones, it didn't do it. I guess you got to flood the system before they finally do anything like that. So, or finally catch on. But all right, so here's the video that has all of our great comments on it. Let's refresh this here so you can make sure that yeah, we got some. I don't understand why it doesn't put all this stuff in order, but we should see Dan's comment out here somewhere. Just to make sure, because I did. Yep, there's Dan's comment. Okay, good. All right, so everybody that has a valid entry has been checked and validated by the system, so we are good to go. All right, so here is our video that everybody put their entries on. And just to make sure, yes, this is this video. Put your entry on this video. Okay. So there's our URL. Posted it, pasted it in there. Let's make sure. Yep, that is correct. And Justin, it's okay, man. I respond to anything. You know, all names are made up anyway. So I think it's you know, if you want to get all matrixy, it's you choose your name in the matrix, and I don't know. Maybe I look like a Dan. Who knows? All right, so we got that in there. All right, so let's get our official. We're gonna copy that directly out of the rules. There we go. Okay, we're gonna filter for duplicate users. We're gonna make sure that everybody just gets one entry. We're going to include replies to comments, because that did happen. Like, some people left, like, some just very nice little comments, but then they were like, oh, crap, I forgot. I was so busy leaving you a comment, I forgot to make an entry in the contest. So there's our entry. We're not going to blacklist or exclude everybody. There's no additional entries in this contest. And so let's go ahead and let's see how many. We have 26 unique comments here. So if you entered, you have a chance 1 in 26 of winning the grand prize, or the grand giveaway. I guess prize has a different connotation on all this stuff, so I just want to make sure that we're all using the correct language. But Apple IIe option card, I think some people were confused about what this card was, because they were like, oh, well, I don't have an Apple II machine. Well, it's not. It doesn't do that. It's a card for your Macintosh, and that IEC, very high quality aftermarket interface cable. This is what I had to buy in the very beginning, because I did not have. I had a card, but I had no cable. So not super helpful. All right, so okay, so we have our 26 comments. We're all ready to go. Let's go ahead. I'm going to move this up a little bit, because I think last week, maybe if I duck my head, I won't hit the comments. But here we go. Everybody, hey, again, thank you so much for all your support. Thank you for putting up with me for the last year. And let's give it away. Good luck to everyone. And there is our winner, Alexander Kaltsas. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And that is the winner for this giveaway of a Apple IIe option card. So congratulations to Alexander. Why, don't cry. You just won a wonderful thing. I'm sure if I asked Mr. Polka Dot, this is like a $600 giveaway. So hopefully this is something that you can use. And if you can't, trade it. Get it to like somebody else who can really take advantage of a device like this, and see, or maybe if you have a Macintosh that's compatible, you know, go ahead and use it. Have fun with it. All right, so let's go ahead and we're gonna get our information about our winner, and let's paste this in the winners thread. Okay, let's get our link. And I think that this is the 1,000 winner. All right, that looks good. So, Alexander, you have like just a little bit of time to reach out to me, and I will go ahead and you give me your address, and I'll get it in the mail to you. Just as a reminder, if you because we did go ahead and add the rule where if you're under 18, you do have to have a legal adult reach out on your behalf to me to go ahead and get an address so I can get this in the mail. So just to keep things above board and all that, for like, you know, just to make sure that, you know, the adults in your life know what's going on. The internet's a weird place. So there you have it. That's the winner for this contest. What I was thinking about doing, though, is I do have a couple of other really cool things that I have picked up recently. And I'm probably going to do some additional contest stuff in the future. And I'd also like to do maybe a eBay auction to try to raise some money for like a children's charity. I recently picked up a One Laptop per Child, like the very first version of that, which I remember back in the day, like pre-netbooks, pre all that type of stuff, was really kind of like people were like, oh my gosh, like I'm just like, oh, if I could just have one of those things. It's very cool. It's like a little Linux netbook kind of thing, but with like the screen rotate. It's so cool. They thought of everything. So, but I picked one of those up recently. Maybe try to do a like a eBay auction for charity or something for that. But since we are here, let's do some other little small fun giveaways where I printed up like a whole bunch of buttons for Vintage Computer Fest Midwest, where it was basically you can go around and instead of giving people cards and stuff, I know a lot of people give buttons and do things like that. And Tom's right about the Does Not Compute did a review of one of those recently. So how about this? Let's give away 10 buttons for people that are already entered. So if your name gets pulled twice, obviously we'll re-roll and we'll do it again. But let's do some drawings for some buttons. I'm going to cover all the shipping and stuff like that. I just want to get you something fun for, especially the people that have kind of like, you know, followed me through all this. Yeah, Super Mole Retro, he's got one on his hat. He's also got one of Mac 84's buttons on his hat. I saw his latest video. Steve, I am so sorry, man. I saw that grading. Super Mole Retro does a lot of like comic pickup videos and things like that. So I saw your recent video with the grading issue, and it was like, oh man, I was like, oh dude, that sucks. Okay, so how about let's give away 10 buttons starting right now. Britt Dodd. Britt Dodd. Well, Britt's a good guy because he actually took my took my 6200 off my hands. So you know, that's a good guy that'll take like the world's worst Macintosh off your hands. All right, so that's not even spelled correctly. Spelling is like such my not strong suit. Okay, Britt, we got a button for you. Let's keep going. Garett Bungee? I absolutely, I love your marathon series of games. I'm not spelling anything correct. I'll just trust you if you reach out to me. Britt, you can't win twice, Britt. You cheater. You can't win twice. You can't win twice, Garrett. What is the deal? Oh, there's Logan, the crazy tech reviews. Logan, I went to St. Louis yesterday. This is a funny story, guys. There is a really cool computer store in St. Louis. I'm not going to name it because I don't know exactly what happened, but Logan at Crazy Tech Reviews, CTR, Crash Team Racing, he recently went there and kind of bought some neat items and stuff. Well, I went there yesterday, and the parking lot was like a cop shop. I mean, there were vans out, the cop vans out there, cop cars out there. But it's like a strip mall. So it's like, it could have been anything. It could have been anybody there. And so I was like, okay, well, I went ahead and I went up to the store and I went inside, and there was a lady inside that I didn't recognize. And she was like, oh, hello. Like, it was a very weird greeting. And I was like, oh, hi. And I saw the guys that normally work there. They're behind the counter. And I kind of walked around. I was looking at some stuff. Well, like a sheriff's deputy came out from behind, or out back, or from in back, and was like, who are you? And I said, I'm Ron. And she goes, are you a customer? Are you trying to shop here? And I said, yeah, I was trying to shop here. And she goes, well, you might want to come back another time. These guys are dealing with some stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, well, this is their stuff that they're dealing with. So I went ahead and I walked up and I just said, hey, sorry guys, this is a stressful day. I know we had talked about filming some stuff, but we will do it another time. So I went ahead and I went outside. Well, when I go outside, 3 police officers walk up to me and they go, who are you? And I'm like, I'm just Ron. I'm nobody. And they're like, well, what are you doing here? And I was like, I was just here to try to shop. And they were like, well, how'd you get in there? Because you went around our barricades. And I looked down there, and now there's barricades up. And I'm like, oh, well, when I came in here, I said there was no barricades. I said it was just, it's just an open, you could just drive down the parking lot. And they were like, well, wait right here. Where's that lady that was just inside? I don't know. Well, the 2 of the cops take off. And I'm just standing there with another cop. And he's like, well, just wait here with me. So I'm just waiting there with him. And literally just like more than a little bit of time just standing there waiting. And they finally came back and they were like, oh, yeah, you're fine. You can go. And I was like, so I still don't know what was happening. But I tried to look at the police blotter up there and there was nothing. But I would say that I should have showed them my Ron's computer videos because I had it. I had like tripods and stuff with me too, so that's probably why they thought I was kind of a weirdo. But I didn't know what was going on. It was very, very strange, and so I went ahead and I just took off after that. But reading around online, I guess St. Louis, they have had like a ton of break-ins at like video game stores. Retro kind of any kind of retro stuff, and there was a thing in the paper about I guess a group of people, they went in and they stole like a ton of Pokemon cards and Magic cards and stuff for some business. And I mean, I guess it was like this what they stole was like valued at like $100,000 worth of like Pokemon cards and Magic cards and stuff like that. So I feel really bad for people in those communities because it's like, well, how do you ever get that stuff back? But that's a lot of inventory to sit on. So it's I hope they've got good insurance, and I hope that they've got good security footage, and that they are able to get some sort of some sort of positive resolution to that situation. So that's pretty crazy. All right, well, I've been talking some more, and I've only done 3 of these. Let's do some more drawings. Eric Miller. Eric, I love your I love your Twitter post, man. So let me go ahead and I'll get your name down too. Also, I love your avatar. I love your guy. He's all here, guy. Alexander, you have won enough stuff tonight, buddy. I'm gonna put a button in for you. You gotta calm it down, okay? Okay. Ariana Grey. Ariana, thank you for entering the contest. I love your Twitter. Yeah, again, I'm not doing it correctly. I'm spelling for speed here, folks. I love your Twitter posts. Thank you very much. Oh, it's the mighty Jabba. If you guys have not checked out, if you're a Star Wars geek like me, I mean, my son's name is Obi. It's Obi Wyatt, because you can only push a spouse so far. But it's if you've not checked out his channel, he makes like really cool videos and does like a lot. He's a Mac person, kind of like a lot of us, and he also has like cool contests and stuff that he does all the time. So it's check out his YouTube channel, and it's not just strictly like toy reviews, but it's like there's always like a maquette or like some rare piece of like Jabba the Hutt merchandise. It's Star Wars, but it kind of focuses on like Jabba's palace and kind of the denizens and stuff. But he's did like a really cool series that I love, because there was a book that came out it's called like Tales of Jabba's Palace, and it kind of builds out the backstory of like different characters like Ula and Salacious. Maybe Salacious Crumb. I'm pretty sure there was a chapter on Salacious Crumb, but it's none of it's canon now. But it's still really fun to kind of watch kind of these reviews of all these little tiny stories that fills in the backstory of everything that was going on at Jabba's Palace. And he also 3D printed like a life-size Jabba the Hutt. So that was a pretty cool endeavor. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do 4 more. No whammies. Up. Ariana, come on. Come on. Oh. All right, David Edris. David, thank you so much for entering the contest. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's pick another winner. Ah, Alexander! I guess that's what happens when you only have like 26 entries. You got to dig through. Ah, MrFahrenheit. It's moving at the speed of light. We're going to make a supersonic man out of you. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more. Okay. No whammies. No whammies. Stop. Tom Barber. Hey, Tom. Congratulations, sir. I love your... whoops. I love your blue scuzzy stuff. I think I've bought several from you now. So, why not give out 26 buttons? Because I may not actually have 26 buttons. But when I get more, I think that the next time that I do one of these giveaways, that we'll do like another 10 or everybody that enters gets a button or something like that. We'll have to see what the shipping is going to be like, because I think I could put this in just like a buck or two, like one of the flat rate little padded envelopes or something, where it arrives and it doesn't get squished. But we shall see. The ones I ordered were bigger than I kind of thought that they should be. Ravuya? Ravuya. It's we'll have to see where they're from. Got a color classic. This is a big no-no with with Sean over at Geek with Social Skills. You can't use the British spelling. Sorry. Ravuya. Oh, yeah. Gosh, I'll learn to spell one of these days. All right, so I've got a list of people. Hey, if you want to reach out for a button, I am happy to send you one. I want to make sure that I think I only have like 10 or 12 buttons left. And I got a couple of things that I need to send out that I'm going to put a button in. So I guess that means that I absolutely need to go ahead and order some new buttons off of Pure Buttons. They've been really good. I need to order some stickers and stuff too off Sticker Mule. So I will do that one of those days. All right. So congratulations to everybody that won something tonight. And for everybody that did not win, I want to continue to give stuff back to the Mac community. I want to continue to give stuff back to the Apple II community and just the retro computing community in general. Because, again, this last year has been tough on a lot of people. and where you were locked inside. You didn't have these opportunities to socialize. You didn't have a lot of opportunities to do maybe creative things in the spaces that you were normally used to. So a lot of people kind of turned to YouTube, and that's what I did. And Geek with Social Skills is right. We are all winners, Ron. We are all winners. We are the champions, my friend. So I turned in and did some more of this type of stuff, and have just been having a blast doing it. So I want to thank you very much. But there's a couple videos that are in the pipeline now that I've got this contest stuff cleared out. Is a comparison video with the old and new cases for the floppy emu. I had some stuff that I'm going to do some additional testing, kind of getting ready for December, which is coming up here. If you are to believe what I'm seeing, on display at retail, it's already Christmas. But as soon as I get some of these things kind of lined out, I'm going to go ahead and I've got a really cool December video kind of lined up for this year that I'm going to collaborate with Steve at Mac84 on. There's also some other, I might do 2 December videos this year. We'll see how it goes. It's, I normally try to go at it from like a Macintosh kind of point of view. So we'll see how that all shakes out. But I've got a couple other videos kind of in the pipeline. I've got a beginner's guide for Blue Scuzzy that is probably 90% of the way done. And there might be a cool giveaway with that. Don't know just yet, but probably will know more details in the next day or two. So, and then, just like my good friend, Retrotech Chris, it's that 90-day pipeline. It's that 90-day video pipeline that really makes it difficult to kind of stay ahead of things. But we will get things going. So anyway, I have taken up enough of your already packed. I gotta get something in the post for Super Mole Retro. He was nice enough. He sent me a couple of 120 gig SD cards, and so I got one prepped for him. So save him some time on the setup. So, but anyway, I have taken up so much of your evening already. I want to thank everybody for showing up. I want to thank everybody who entered the contest. And I especially want to thank everybody who has continued to kind of support what I'm doing over the last year. And hopefully will continue to support me into the future. I really look forward to maybe meeting some of you guys in person, Retro Computer Fest Midwest. I'd really like to go to something out east. I'm probably going to have to. Oh, yeah, there's Javier. Hi, Javier. I'm Rudy's Retro Intel. Yeah, Rudy. Yeah, we're doing a cool. Oh, I'm not going to say anything. We're doing a cool project with Rudy probably later or early next year. So there'll be some fun things going on that front. But I was trying to think. Oh my gosh! If you guys, I saw her name earlier up at the top. Macintosh Librarian recently did kind of a cool. I sent her a couple of laptops, and she did a very nice kind of thank you video for that. And so I'm thanking you for thanking me. But I need to get out east, because I've got some stuff that I have to actually deliver to Steve at Mac84, and I actually sent him because he bought a couple of Flower Power iMacs at Vintage Computer Fest Midwest. Pardon me. And they've just been kind of sitting. Oh, and he also bought like a inbox Mac 512 from Super Retro Mole, and it's kind of sitting in my like storage area, and so I sent him a video that was sort of like, who's watching this, or who's researching all this stuff. I don't do a good Harrison Ford impersonation. We gotta investigate Marcus. So he's always sounded like a grizzly old man, I guess. But it's so the video cuts from the scene where it's Porkins from A New Hope, where he's like, top men, and it cuts to kind of me dummying up like it's the scene where you box up all the stuff and it goes in the warehouse. So I got to get out east to get that stuff delivered to Steve at some point. So people that live out east, I probably need to go ahead and just arrange sort of kind of some visits out there on the East Coast one of these days. That's a good 2022 project, I think. So anyway, thank you to everybody who, this is like my third outro. Thank you to everybody who came tonight and sat through all this faff and have just been so kind and so wonderful. And so, and congratulations to all the winners tonight, specifically to Alexander. Reach out to me as soon as you can, and I will get this guy in the mail for you. And all of our button winners tonight, if you just reach out to me, again, the easiest way to do that is you just go out on the YouTubes, and you go to, I guess you just go to my channel, if it ever loads up. And you can go to about, and yeah, you can just use the contact, just contact me through there. And, or if we're friends on Twitter or something, just reach out, however it works best. But Alexander, I don't think that we're Facebook or Twitter affiliated. So yeah, just reach out through this link right here and I'll get you your stuff. So everybody, thank you so much for sticking around this evening. And I hope that everybody has a wonderful Thursday, and I will talk to you soon. Good night, everybody. Hey, did all the lightweights leave? Oh, that's cool, because I got something I want to share with you. All right, so I made a post recently out on the Book of Faces about come on, work with me here. I made a post out here on the Book of Faces about kind of the easiest way to set up a SCSI to SD. Let me see. Like, did I? I think yeah, here it is. And you guys can tell me if I'm completely off base on this, but I wanted to maybe, I'm going to do a video that kind of like this is kind of the idea that I had for like a getting started video with the blue SCSI. And you guys can tell me how off base I am with this or not. But because I don't want to speak authoritatively about stuff that I'm just talking on my butt or something like that on. So the idea, I'm just going to run down through here. And if I have missed any steps, I want you guys to maybe let me know. So the idea is if you are someone who just bought a Blue SCSI and you have a classic Mac, but you need to be able to kind of get rolling with that. But you know, oh, I got a Mac Plus, and it's like, you know, how do I get stuff in there? And honestly, it seems to be like the biggest problem that people have with a lot of these is that a lot of the utilities and stuff you might download off Macintosh Garden are compressed. So how do you get them uncompressed? And if you're somebody that has like a PC and you use Stuff It Deluxe on like the PC to extract these Macintosh Stuff It archives, you end up like stripping out part of the file. So if it's an application and it gets extracted, you end up having a problem where that application won't work anymore because the PC has bungled the file up. So the easiest way to kind of do this is to use like an emulator. And I know a lot of people kind of talk about doing this, but I don't think I've ever really seen a video where somebody just shows you start to finish on how to roll your image for your SCSI Blue. So step one, download a Macintosh emulator for your modern desktop machine. So I use Basilisk 2. I think that it probably gives you pretty good performance. I know that there are some others out there. I know you could use Sheep Shaver and just put it kind of in Mac mode, in 68K mode. But I have the best stability with Basilisk, and I don't have that whole New World ROM, Old World ROM issue. So something that I was clued into early on when I started like getting back out and doing things was Savage Taylor, that website. I feel so bad. I can't remember the guy's name, but the Savage Taylor website, they've got those pre-rolled images that have like a minimum or a minimal version of like System 7 and stuff on it, and a bunch of different sizes. So whatever it is you're trying to do, you can download that image and you can kind of fool around with it. But the idea would be you get your emulator, you get like probably one of those pre-rolled System 755 or 753. I think it's 755. 2 gigabyte images, because that's got all your software already on it, and it's all decompressed and it's all ready to use, so it saves you a lot of grief later. And then you want to go out on Macintosh Garden and download the Apple Legacy Recovery CD. And if you are a kind of a classic Mac enthusiast and you don't have a copy of that, get a copy of it, because that is what the Apple Store used to use back in the day to make floppies for people. So if you were somebody that came in, you're like, oh, I've got an LC2 and I need, if I could just get a copy of System 7.1, they would crank you. I don't know why you sound like that, but I guess you do in this example. They would crank out some floppies for you and stuff. And it's really neat because it's very sort of curated experience, because it has like all the machines, and it has like, these are the best operating systems for those machines. And so you could just very easily click and it'll do like sort of that, I guess, net install maybe, where it mounts all the disks, and then you can just do your install directly from there. You don't have to burn floppies. You don't have to do anything like that. Burn floppies. Psst. But anyway, and then step 4, you want to download one of the blank HDA images off the Blue SCSI Project's GitHub. And that is the secret sauce, I think, that people kind of don't get when they're getting started, because they're just trying to format it and use like the Apple Disk utility and all that. And you could do those things, but it's not as easy as this, because those images are tested and ready to go, and they just work with the Blue SCSI, and you could just copy it to it, and then you could boot your Mac up and you could do your installs and stuff on real hardware. But if you look at those HDA files, I think you can open them up in CiderPress. Maybe that's not correct, but there's a utility that I opened it up in, and you can look, because it'll show like the actual partition drivers and things like that in there, which is kind of, like how the sausage is made. But it helps give you a better idea of exactly kind of what's going on inside those HDA files. So you want to get your emulator set up. You want to get a copy of one of those pre-rolled System 755, minimal System 755 images off Savage Taylor. You want to get a copy of the Apple Legacy Recovery CD. You want to get one of those blank HDAs that's going to be probably whatever size you want. And I think they cap out around 2 gigabytes or something like that for the best compatibility. Because I think there are some of the, like 761 and definitely System 8 and newer ones support bigger than 2 gigabyte partitions. I don't know for sure, and I've always just stuck with 2 gigabytes just for having the best backward compatibility. So in your emulator, you go ahead and you add all those images, making sure, or you add like those 3 things you just downloaded. You want to make sure that the Apple Recovery CD is at the top, so that's what actually boots. And then you basically can just boot the machine, do an install for, like, I mean, if you wanted to, if you were going to do like System 7.1 or something like that, you could do like specifically for this Mac, or you could just do one that just kind of covers everything. So you could move it from device to device to device, or I'm sorry, Mac to Mac to Mac, which is most of the time kind of what I do. I mean, it does leak a lot of memory on those 4 gig systems or 4 megabyte systems like SEs, pluses, stuff like that. So you might want to kind of, consider maybe just doing like a 68 black and white, 68K black and white install for some of that. But anyway, you go ahead, you do your base install, and then what you want to go ahead and do is then you can go out on that Savage Taylor image, and basically all the hard work's been done for you. Like, there's tons of drivers out there for like different bits of hardware, like some of the network cards, some of the video cards. There's also like decompression utilities, hard drive formatting utilities. If you've never checked those out, you definitely want to. But yeah, Sean brings up something interesting. For the Apple IIe card, 755 is like the absolute top, because until somebody breaks down and rewrites the control panel, it doesn't support 32-bit addressing, because you have to kind of think about, I am sure that like when that first came out, like System 701 or something was out when the DOS card came out, so it was kind of long in the tooth by the time that like 7.6 came out, because 7.6 absolutely, yes, Eric, you want a button. Whatever the heck you call it, pretty long in the tooth, but 7.6 absolutely hard locked on 32-bit addressing, can't turn it off. So anyway, but yeah, you copy all your cool utilities off of the Savage Taylor image onto your newly customized HDA, and at that point you can just take that file, copy it over to your SD card, and name it according to the convention that is required as part of the Blue SCSI project. And I've got a link there for the documentation, and that's it. That's all you got to do, and now you got like a fully working machine. But I don't think I've seen a video like that on YouTube just yet, or I definitely haven't made one, or I'm sorry, I definitely haven't published one myself, but I've got one. It's most of the way done. So I just wanted to bounce the idea off people. If I missed any steps or anything like that, I guarantee that I will make this video and Adam will come back and he'll be like, well, dude, you know that you totally, he's so cool, it's you totally missed this step. And I'll be like, oh gosh, how do I do a follow-up? So anyway, that's something cool that I'm going to be working on here shortly, or finishing up. I'd like to get that out the door probably by the weekend. That'd be really great. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, hey, thanks for hanging out for a couple of extra minutes. I just wanted to try to maybe get this one up to the 45-minute level, just to kind of see, because I guess you get your, because that's my problem right now, is I've got 1,000 subscribers, and again, thank you very much. But you've got to, for monetization and for some of the cooler streaming stuff, you've got to get your watch hours up to like 4K. And that's really easy for people that do live streams, like 3-hour live streams. I'm looking at you, Bruce. 4-hour, 5-hour live streams. I'm looking at you, Mac84. And I guess that's the easy way to get those numbers up. And I just have never really fully sort of, I guess, kind of exploited that part of the system on how you get those numbers. So that'll be my next thing. Oh yeah, something else that I wanted to do. I don't have all the stuff just laying out right here, but one of the things that I'm going to do here shortly is sort of a like how to like what am I thinking here? Oh yeah, it's basically sort of a for power books and things like that. Just sort of a how to make like a jack of all trades sort of tool that you can take around for like fixing up other machines and stuff like that. So especially 68K Max and all that. So if you just you're just, oh man, I got to do a quick install or something like that, it's just kind of using the SCSI to SD 5.5 and some adapters and things like that to just sort of make your life easier. So quality of life videos has been something that's like how do I kind of share, because man, I suffered for so long. How do I share some of this knowledge with other people? So anyway, all right, for real this time, I am going to go ahead and sign off. I want to thank everybody again for coming out tonight and spending what has now become like 47 minutes of your already busy schedule with me. Again, thank you, and everybody have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you soon. Good night. Oh yeah, sorry. I guess I am muted. But anyway, all I said was, "Oh, I can't believe you guys are still here." Ah. So, but I actually was working on the Slot One challenge, and I had like a ton of problems with. I'm not muted anymore. I promise you. So, but I had a ton of problems with trying to get a 3DFX Voodoo 3 3000 AGP working in my Windows 98 machine, and I am not 100% sure what happened with the like the Windows 98 drivers for that, or maybe it's like some kind of issue with the like BX chipset Slot One motherboard that I was trying to use. I might just have tried to bite off more than I could chew with making that work, because I have like buggered my like Windows 98 machine at this point. So I've got to start over on that. So the Slot One challenge was something that Sukra and some other people had kind of like put together, and there is a hashtag. It's out on Twitter. You can link to their videos, and basically it was just like, hey, I'm just going to start with some parts. I'm going to build it up, and I'm going to do some build a machine and just kind of see where we get. And I had some fun ideas about things I wanted to try, because I recently, and this was an amazing deal. This was a $10 Voodoo 1 that I picked up at Vintage Computer Fest Midwest, or Festival Midwest, that has a little bit of rework on it, and it does have a few of the legs on these larger ICs that are kind of like bent. So yeah, I gotta go in there with a razor blade and kind of separate all those out. But generally speaking, it's other than just being a little dirty, it oh yeah, OCR, I'm so sorry, man. I love this card, and granted, honestly, for glide, compatibility and things like that, even like the later, I don't think I got it at Free Geek. There was a guy that had a table inside, kind of on the back wall, that was by All That Big Iron, and I was just like, hey, like, what are you selling this for? And he goes, I don't know if it works, and it's had like some very obvious rework on it. How about, and I was like, yeah, I'll pick it up for that. I mean, it's worth testing out if nothing else. So, but I will have to check that out. So, the board was the problem on that. That board has worked for me in the past in DOS, because that's generally kind of what I had it set up. I had that 98 machine set up as, because Windows gaming of that era, like I can name like the game that I would probably play, which is Interstate 76. If you guys never played that is like such an amazing game. I loved that. It had really great net play, so it's sort of like the vehicular combat stuff. There was a couple of sequels they made. There was Interstate 82, which does work on like Windows XP and like slightly newer machines, and has better support for like NVIDIA video cards and stuff like that. The original Interstate 76 is just strictly was glide, and I think they added like Direct 3D kind of later in the game. But for a long time, if you wanted to play that, like, you had to have your two Voodoo 2 12 megs and jack those settings up, and like you played at like 1024 by 768, and it was a good time. But I used to work for a computer store, and on Fridays, or sometimes Fridays, kind of after work, people we'd all fire up Interstate 76 and have a little bit of vehicular combat. Plus, I really dig the game. I think that it's kind of set like during the oil crisis, and it's just a lot of fun. You get to kind of build out your vehicle and go on missions and stuff. And it's really funny if you play it on newer operating systems. The AI goes wonky, and so like your car, I mean, you can drive, you can do everything you want to do, but the enemy AI is like, they're constantly, like, their wheels are going like this, so like their pathfinding's all screwed up or something. And so it's hilarious, because you could just go and just decimate. It's like every level is easy mode, because you just like you go up there and like they're driving into cliffs and things like that. So very sad end to that, and they never really fixed that on newer operating systems because they had already kind of moved on. But Interstate 82 is sort of the follow-up, and you play, I think, as kind of different characters. Like you play as somebody else, but at the very end of it, you have to fight Ronald Reagan. He's got like a giant mech. I'm from memory. I only played through that one time, but I think at the very end he has like a giant mech, and you have to fight him. And so when you beat him, it basically cuts to like a news story about the attempted Reagan assassination, and it's that was a cover up for him getting hurt in this kind of vehicular combat. So I always thought that was kind of a funny, you touch on real things. So, but yep. So if you're a big fan of the Gipper, or that's terrible Reagan. What is it? It's I think the people that did it best was the China Illinois, like Brad Neely, where it's like one of the characters went on like a kid talent show thing as a kid, and it was like you're like, hey, I love to smell farts and I love to kiss butts. And it was just like this excellent kind of Reagan impersonation. It was so good that in the universe, the real Reagan saw it and started using like time travel powers to go up and screw up this kid's life because he found it so embarrassing. But anyway, so yeah, we're coming up on an hour. I'm really going to end it this time. Thank you to everybody who came out again, and thank you for people that stayed through the fake endings. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to try to get a real video out, hopefully by this weekend, and if not, probably on Sunday or something. So we will see how that goes. But anyway, everybody have a wonderful evening. Thank you again. Good night.